Welcome back to part 2 of the 1986 Gibson Les Paul problem solving. Stick around. Welcome back, all you string picking guys and gals out there, to Obscene Studios. I am your host, Casey. This is part 2 to the 1986 Gibson Les Paul Studio problem solving video. We are going, as a little recap of the last video. We got the strings off of it, we cleaned up the fretboard, got all that finger gunk off of it, we cleaned up the frets. We've gone through and addressed the cracked pickup ring, and we have solved that problem. It is laying down pretty good. Haven't screwed it back down yet, so that may be a telltale sign of what we have to do with that coming up. Also, we've done a few things. We checked the pots, no scratchiness. This video, we're probably going to, just because I'm curious, I want to take the back plate off. I want to look at the electronics cavity. I want to look at the toggle switch cavity, run the fret rocker over the frets, make sure that none of those are high. I don't think that there will be, because this thing sounds awesome. And we're going to put the notch level on it. Hopefully by the end of this video, we will have this guitar up and running with a new set of D'Addarios on it and jamming out. So stick around for that, and let's get over here on the bench and check it out, shall we? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get out the old handy dandy notch level here. I need to mark this thing. Oh yeah, I can tell by feeling. Very, very little relief from about the 7th to the 10th. Just a barely, and I mean barely, any light coming through on that. So let's check our frets real quick and see where we're standing on that. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I don't know the backstory before David. I'm sure David didn't get this guitar when it was new. I think someone else had this guitar at one time, because David's the kind of person that I think would not put a sticker on a guitar and leave it there and then let age really take a hold on the finish like that. It just doesn't seem like something that David would do. So whoever had it before him, though, did take care of the frets and all of the work that went into keeping this thing awesome. I am excited, I will tell you that. You just can't wait to hear this thing with a fresh set of D'Addario 9s on it. Actually, that is what I took out of it, was Diodarios, but they were super old. He left them things in there for quite some time. I think that's okay. Let's get a thin pick here. Make sure we can't get it under. Yeah, that's good. Anybody that's ever tightened one of these down, especially on an arch top guitar, do be careful, because if you start cranking on these pickup rings, you just want them snug. You just want them to snugly fit against the body. You don't want to start cranking on them. For the love of God and everything holy, do not put a drill on these things, because the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to bust that ring, and it's not going to be as pretty anymore. And that Loctite is going to keep that together. It's still got just a little, you can see where the crack is. I may go over that with a little bit of steel wool, just right there in that spot. But it looks good. Now down here you can tell that somebody has really cranked down on it right here. You loosen that just a little, and they've cranked down on it right here. These do not have to be super tight at all. These pickup rings, as long as they're snug against the body, you're doing good. If you go tighter than that, you will damage those. Of course, a lot of you seasoned guitarists out there know exactly what I'm talking about. How about we do some lemon oil and really get this thing good and oiled up. But as I was saying, a lot of you guitarists out there, you know what to do, what not to do when it comes to guitars, especially if you've worked on your own guitars. You know exactly what to do. But a lot of you beginners out there, that's directed towards you. If you ever decide to get into building on guitars and working on them, and you decide to change pickups out, and you put new pickups in, do not, I repeat, do not crank down on those pickup rings. I can't tell you as a beginning musician how many of those I broke because I thought they had to be super tight. And they do not have to be super tight. They just have to be on there. Now I have to say something else. The fretboard on this thing is as smooth as butter. You cannot feel any grain at all. Can't feel the inlays. They are nicely done. It's just a smooth transition right over the inlays. Let's get a gander at what, and he has got something on the back of the right there. I wonder if we can get that off. Didn't even notice that yesterday. And I was messing with this. Probably because I caused it. I bet that's fingerboard gunk from when I was cleaning off that fingerboard. Okay, let's get a look inside here. As always, bring out the dent puller because we do not want to scar any paint. Oh yeah. You know what? We could use some air. Get some of the gunk out of there. But it looks good. All the solder joints look good. Everything looks great. Everything looks awesome. I don't know if a lot of you out there have worked on these, but this is the first time I'm seeing the resistor between the volume and the tone pot. That's odd. but it's really cool that they do that, and they do it on both of them. Usually I see the resistor going up and grounding out to the top of the potentiometer, but here you see it running from one side to the other, and I think that it is running to hot. It is not running to ground. Huh, that's interesting. Or maybe it's just maybe that's sort of standard for these. Like I said, I don't get a chance to work on some of them like this, but that is very interesting. I may take this back off at some point before I give it back and just take a picture of that. That's interesting. Really, that's kind of cool. I want to really get a good look at that though, because if I ever run into a situation like that again and they have problems inside this, then I have sort of a reference to go by, because anybody can pull up schematics on guitars for just about any year, and that's all said and done. But you know, for this year of guitar, probably be kind of hard to find. And the picture is way better. I've worked with those tone pots or three-way switches dozens and dozens of times. So let's put this back on here, and then we are going to look at that one fret, see if we can't get that down and kind of level with the others. Like I said last video, the frets need re-crowning, but at this point I am not going to do that, because there is no, and I mean no, problem with the sound of this guitar. No fret buzz, and it's low action, everything looks good. So we may just work on that one fret, get that little tiny high spot out of it, then we'll restring her back up, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's been some time later. Our Flitz polish has finally come in. Big thank you to Brant, who uses the Flitz polish. He doesn't use this kind. I actually got this kind because I wanted to try it out and see, because with this kind you don't need a Dremel, you just need a dry cloth to buff it off with. And so I thought, well, why not try this kind, do 2 or 3 frets, and then go back. And it says that you're just supposed to buff it off with a dry cloth. So we are going to see. Of course, we all know, you know what I mean? You read reviews, you look at what other people are saying about the product, and I kind of liked what I read, and it was something that I ended up ordering with a sale price, because I was needing more polish, and I kind of wanted to do it. So I guess this video is sort of a review of Flitz polish. Man, that's shining them up. Wow. I can't believe it's doing that without a Dremel. Wow, that's amazing. Let me show you guys so you can get a good look at it. Look at the difference. You can get to where the light, see? That's crazy. And without a Dremel, can't really ask for much more than that. So let's keep going. Okay, off camera, I did a little experiment. I've got different sizes of buffing wheels. Have this small one up to pretty big buffing wheels for attachment for this drill. So from the 12th fret up, I decided that I wanted to do with a buffing wheel, because the bottle says that all you have to do is apply it and then rub it off with a dry cloth. So I did that down here and it made a huge difference. I mean, a huge difference. That looks amazing. I know y'all, I can see the shine on the camera. But once you get up to here, that is a mirror finish. It's just amazing with a buffing wheel. So the buffing wheel is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish off these down here at the bottom. And so sorry for the noise. Yeah. Buffing wheel is the way to go. Takes all the work out of it, but I did just because the bottle said to do it with a dry cloth. I wanted to at least try that and see what it would do, which wasn't bad. If you want to sit here and scrub by hand all the way down, but it is so much faster to use a buffing wheel on a drill or a Dremel. I had a Dremel, but I've got it outside with my other tool set, so I thought I'd just go ahead and use my buffing wheel for that drill, which the drill is variable speed. It will do, well, not variable speed, it has 2 speeds. But let's get a look at this. We'll look at it together, you and me. Now, when I got this, these frets were pretty dingy. I knew that they were going to need a real good polishing, and I've heard of for a long time of the Flitz metal polish, and for a long time I've heard of it, and I thought, you know, I don't know, I'm always weary of trying new things, because, you know, I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I try one thing and it works, then I'm staying with it. There's no sense in experimenting. But when you run out of polish, and you see other people like Brant over at Tone Yeager using Flitz polish, that I like the shine that it was used on his, so I got some. It wasn't exactly the same kind that he had, but it was definitely the Flitz brand, and it does the same thing. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just thought to myself, if it's going to make them shine and it's going to work good, then I'm all about it. So that's what I did. I went ahead and purchased a bottle of that, and I am in love with it. That is a glorious shine. I can't believe that it made that much noise. I've used good polishes before, but that was super easy. I mean, look at that. That's insane. It's like brand new again. So, as you've seen in the first video, this pickup ring right here had snapped. Wasn't broken all the way through. I was able to get just a little dot of super glue, Loctite super glue, which happens to be the bomb, and put that in there and kind of put this back down and let it cure for 24 hours. Now it has sealed up the crack, but now where I have scraped it off somewhat with our steel wool and some sandpaper, it's got a dull spot in it. I do not want Dave to feel that transition if he goes to inspect it. So we're going to get that smooth as possible with some sandpaper, and to where you cannot see or feel that transition right there. A little bit of that shown through. Okay, sorry about that. I had to back up, and I had family over. They just show up, and I'm trying to film, and I'm trying to get things done. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Family is important. However, I had a plan for the pickup ring right here where we had glued it back together, and I sort of sanded it down with 1,000 grit so you couldn't feel the transition, but it left a dull spot on the pickup ring. And I started to go apply some heat to it with one of these, because with these, I have seen in the past that if you take a dingy plastic like on an old chair and you hit it with heat from one of these, it'll shine back up. I started to do that about the time I had to shut her down because family was here. And then when I was back here stringing it up, I noticed that this pickup has a dingy spot right in here where it's not shiny, back in here and everything. And then I thought, you know what? It kind of adds to the aesthetics of the guitar, as far as it looking a little relict and old with the cracks in it and in the finish and everything. So I just left it alone. I left it right there. We know it's together. We know it's not broken anymore. It is just a little dull right there, but you can look as hard as you want. You really can't tell where that's at. I started stretching the strings, and I've stretched them quite a bit. This should be enough. We put a set of 9 to 42s on it, Diodario, and which is what Dave likes to play. He said he had a problem with the high E string wanting to pull out of the locking tuner. I have tried and tried. I locked that down, and then it kind of dawned on me he's probably not got the strength that he used to have and can't tighten it as much as he'd like to. But however, I will tell you this, these are some of the best locking tuners I believe that I have ever dealt with. Super smooth, no catches whatsoever. Just amazing, amazing tuners. So I'm going to finish tuning this guitar up. I'm going to check intonation. And once we get that done, we'll come back for a little bit of a sound demo. Okay, I've got you on the room mic right now. I don't know if the interface is going to do it justice. So I wanted to kind of give you a room sound, then I'll check that, and we may do the interface afterwards. I have to put this out there. This is just an amazing guitar. I know there's probably a lot of you Gibson people out there that have one from the 1950s or 60s or whatever. But I have just got to say that this guitar is, for what it is, it's amazing. I mean, it really is. So, a little bit of sound sample from it. Going to do some distortion. This is, of course, through my Carbon, and it is, the amp model is a JCM 800, and basically got an IR 412 IR on it. Okay, a little bit of chorus, some reverb. Okay, so we get the gist of the metal part of it. Let's go to clean tone. Well, no, I tell you what, I'm dying to try the blues drive. I'm sorry if this is a little loud. Middle position. Neck. Well, and there you have it, folks. 1986 Gibson Les Paul Studio. Uh, Beautiful, amazing instrument. There's a lot that I would want to do to the guitar, but I kind of respect Dave's wanting to keep it pretty much like it is. He just wanted me to go through it, wanted me to do some magic to it that I did to his acoustic and then some. And we fixed a broken pickup ring. Was going to try something with that, but decided, you know what, the other pickup ring looks like it's had rough way to go, pretty much. Plus, the pick guard is scratched somewhat. But for a guitar that's 40 something year old, uh, just an amazing instrument. Didn't even have to intonate it. Once I got the strings back on, and really needed no adjustment. Once these bridges are set and intonated, and you get your strings stretched out and everything on most guitars, I always go through and see if any intonation needs to be done. And this one didn't need it. It didn't need it at all. It was completely intonated, so I didn't have to adjust any of the bridge here, any of the saddles. So yeah, just an awesome instrument. But that's it for this. I did not run it through the interface because basically room sound was just amazing. I think that interface does good, but sometimes you have to feel in the room. And iPhones have a really good mic on board as long as you're kind of close to the mic. And I had you guys right above, actually clamped right here. So maybe you picked up on the sound of the guitar. Maybe it comes through good. Maybe you're listening with good headphones. I don't know. But that's going to be it for Dave's guitar. Next up is going to be Dave's amp. We're going to talk about this amp. We're going to go through this amp because I think those pots are scratchy, and there's one that's scratchy down here. So I think we got 4 pots that are scratchy. I'm going to take the knobs off. I'm going to spray some deoxit in there and some contact cleaner. We're going to get that thing back to its former glory. I used to have this amp years ago, and actually my company was my mother. My mother and my niece actually come over here and was talking to them. She walked back here and said I had it made and all this stuff, which, this is kind of my man cave, whatever. But she seen this amp and she said, "You used to have one just like that." And I said, "Yes, I did." I said, and it didn't dawn on me until I really looked at it and picked it up, because that thing for a solid state amplifier weighs a ton. But it sounds great as it is. So we are going to go through that. We're going to fix the problems with it, and we are going to get the deoxit spray in there. Look around. I don't know if we're going to take the head out or not. It depends on the pots. We may be able to do it from the front. If not, we may have to take the head out and look at the potentiometers through the back and see if there's an opening that we can spray up in there. If we have to do that, I'm going to tighten these input jacks right here. They feel kind of loose. May just bend them back in just a little bit so they kind of grab onto the cord a little bit more. Because when I put one in there, it's it doesn't click hard like it should, of course, with an amplifier as old as this one. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I really appreciate you stopping in yet once again here at Obscene Studios. I do so enjoy having the company, and I appreciate you guys liking, commenting, all of that stuff that you do, all the clickety-click stuff that you do on your little keyboards and phones is amazing. But for now, always remember, have yourself the most blessed day ever. God be with you all, and I'll see you later.